Okay, what kind of ornaments did we hear?
Mordant.
We heard a mordant at the very end, right? What other ornaments?
I like the drills.
Trills, exactly, on the ends of cadences, right? Now tell us some of the rules that you've used in this example. Can you explain them to us?
So I did some of the two-note slurs.
Can you play that for us? You can. Beautiful. Dia, dia,
And
up.
then I also used, I detached the upbeat, which was 3 notes.
Excellent. Okay, and what are you doing here?
I'm doing the detached jump
Excellent.
leap thing.
Play for us all three in a row so we can hear all those three rules. That's it. Maybe a little longer, right? Not too short, but that sounds very lovely. Okay, and what kind of rule did you use here?
I did the 1-3 thing.
1-3 thing? Excellent. So separating on the 1, and then there's 3 notes by step, and separating 1-3 by step.
Okay, so that's the first way. Can you really exaggerate this? So okay, and then that's the first way. Now the second way.
This title for this. That's good. Dotted rhythms. Okay, and what is Eddie doing with the dotted rhythms? Separating them, and shortening them, right? Eddie, can you tell us what type of piece do we usually use this kind of detached articulation or shortened rhythm?
In a majestic and processional type of piece.
Piece that has more of a stately character, right? We can all hear that. Did we hear what Eddie was doing with his left hand?
Rolling the chords.
Rolling the chords, right? And for the mood of this piece, this is very appropriate as well.
Sometimes whenever we have two hands playing together, it can be difficult to remember to keep the articulation consistent. So, Nehai, I want you to practice a little bit slower and really practice lifting at the end of this before you get into this measure. Yeah, so you want to make sure that because you lifted here, that you do the same thing here. Can you start right at this part? That's better.
Okay, what kind of articulation do we hear in yes. Two-note slurs. We all heard those sign T's, right? Well, so...
Articulation rules was she using, and to make it sound like a march, especially?
She was detaching on the upbeats.
Yeah, the upbeat rule. So she has an upbeat. This is so she detached the upbeat, and
maybe the accompanimental left hand was she detached that to make it sounding like steps, like footsteps.
Okay, so what kind of articulation is we and detaching the skips, right? Can you do it for us very slowly again, Eddie? Just show the steps up. Right. Excellent. We all heard stepwise attach detach for the skips. What ornament did they use?
Use a trill.
A trill, right? We heard it come from above. Yeah. Guess what rules or options of articulation the student was using, and if there were any ornamentation, if you can hear what that ornament was. Okay? Okay, that should be easy enough. Can anyone tell me what kind of articulation did Sophie use and perhaps why? Neda.
She's using detached notes for leaps.
For leaps, and more specifically, Sophie, can you play for us those descending leaps so we can hear it again? What kind of passage is that?
Those are arpeggiated triads.
Arpeggiated triads, right? So we know that rule that those can be separated. Okay, Sophie, can you play for us the second excerpt? Okay. What rule can we say was being used there?
She attached like the fast notes, we feel like a scale like passage.
Attached, right? And what does she do with the descending skips? Detach them, exactly. So can you play for us one more time and make the detached notes a little lighter than the attached notes? Now that's something else that we should think of when we're playing. Attached notes are louder than detached notes. Can we try that? Exactly, it's more a lightness, right? Play for us your very last measure. So I want to hear if we can all figure out what kind of ornamentation, type of ornamentation Sophie used. That's good.
She's rolling.
She's rolling that last chord, right? So roll chords, depending on the piece and the type of place in the piece, is often an option in the Baroque as well, and especially very last chords, okay?
Okay, so what articulation rule did you hear Neha doing? Was it attached? Well, she did attached and detached, but there were several rules she used. Neha, can you play just these measures here a little bit slower? What are those? How would you describe those? What are those called?
Slurs.
And how many notes? 2-note slurs. What's interesting about this piece is there are 2 dotted rhythms. There's a dotted 8th, 16th, and then there's also a dotted quarter 8th. Can you play just this and then play this? So play this first. Now do this one. So you'll want to do this. You did it when you played. Right? Could we, as a class, help Georgina add an ornament? What's a kind of ornament that she could add to this? Ian?
A mordant might be interesting if we add it.
Okay, a mordant could be interesting. What about here at the end? Neha? Yeah, but what do we say at the end of an up? Everything is possible, absolutely. But what's something that's really structural when you're at the end, you're closing off a phrase? Oscar.
A trill.
A trill, okay? Okay, so you could do, just try with the right hand. And you'll still want to separate, so.